Hey guys, Bryce here. Let's talk about bookkeeping businesses at home. What most people don't know when starting a bookkeeping business at home. So I've created a presentation. Want to jump into this thing and let's go and let's attack. So, presenter view. So, what people don't know when starting a bookkeeping business from home. Okay, so slide number one. So, I'm here to share insights into what operating this bookkeeping business from home is really like and highlighting a lot of the misconceptions and overlooked reality. I have a lot of pages of notes because I really have been preparing this because there's a lot of stuff that most people just don't really know when it comes to that. So I'm gonna be reading, I'm gonna be like looking at the screen, I'm really reading off my notes. I don't want to miss any of the points that I have. And really, I want to highlight a lot of this stuff because if you decide to start your own business because you were tired of your old job, or you just wanted a new path where you could grow rapidly to better support your family. Now, whatever that case might be, right? Maybe you want to have more free time. Maybe you want to have more control over your income. 'Cause I know, like right now, at the kind of the time we're in, a lot of people feel like they don't really have control over their income, especially if like maybe just inflation and different things like that, or maybe even passive for promotions, whatever the case might be. If you're not where you want to be, I strongly encourage you to click the link inside the description below the video to book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside our mentorship program. Now, our mentorship program is not for everyone, right? But it's for the people who it does work for and who are a good fit for. We try to help with the utmost like importance of helping you reach your goal and making sure that you know exactly how to go and grow your business. Okay. So if you're ready to take full control of your professional life, don't hit the link and let's see how I can help you inside of a personal call. Okay, so slide two. Too much green syndrome. Now, one of the first challenges you may encounter in this business is too much green syndrome. Now, this term refers to the paradox of having too much unstructured time, which rather than boosting productivity, oftentimes leads to decreased efficiency. So, when transitioning to a remote work, it's a scenario like many of us have kind of like either faced in the past. If there's some things that happened a couple of years ago, and some people like when you're starting your own business, you might go back towards that, right? And unlike inside like a time crunched office setting, the abundance of time can lead to a procrastination and relaxed pace. Like it's not until you actually start working for yourself when you're working from home that you realize it's like the day goes by so fast. And if you're not careful, you're not really going to get that much stuff done. And we'll talk a little bit more like why is that happening throughout this video, but it definitely happens more so than what I like to admit. Like when I first got started, I would actually go walk around like the grocery store for like 1 to 2 hours a day. Um, just 'cause I was so overwhelmed, I just didn't know what to do, and it was very, very confusing. In this example, one thing to kind of like paint this picture is in the game of like billiards or pool, like where you take like the pool stick, you're hitting the ball into like the pocket. A lot of shots are more challenging the further that the balls are from the pocket. So what that means is, let's say that there's the ball you're trying to hit in the pocket, and the pocket is like right here. There's not a lot of room, so it's like it's confined to a small space, and it's going to go inside the pocket. But as you start moving the pocket further and further and further and further and further and further back, there's more of a chance that you're going to miss the shot because your ball could veer off slightly or it could just move. The confines are a lot farther, so the shot's a lot harder to hit. It's the same thing when it comes to our business, especially because when it comes to this too much green syndrome, a lot of people tend to overestimate our capabilities, leading to frequently missing. And this analogy kind of serves well to understand like how unstructured time can lead to less focused work habits. Okay. Next thing is three. So addressing family assumptions and interruptions. Okay. One myth is working from home equals endless free time and you're not doing anything. Okay. I don't know exactly why that happens, but friends, family, significant others, when I started my business, they all assumed that I had nothing going on. Okay. Now, there's a prevalent myth that, it's like just a misconception that it's just like, hey, this person's working for themselves, so they just like have unlimited time. It's not that you don't have unlimited time, but it's just like you have as much free time as you want when you're starting your business. Yes, but people don't respect the fact that that you still work. So they kind of treat it almost like, oh, this person's doing nothing with their life, right? So I can just call you at any time. If you're not answering the phone, then they get upset with you, and it's just like, well, you just ignore me. It's like, well, No, I still have some kind of responsibilities, in my business, my company. I have to do consultation calls every once in a while. I have to do client work, and these interruptions can severely impact your productivity, especially when they occur during like critical business hours. For example, one of my students, her name was Maite. She used to experience like daily interruptions from family and friends, like around like 10 a.m. Now, 10 a.m. for her was a very peak time to engage with clients on platforms like LinkedIn and Instagram. So what we ended up having to do was we we basically had a regimented daily schedule, and I helped her structure her day to allow her to allocate specific times for those family interactions to minimize the disruptions during the work. That's called batching. So I actually made like a time block in her day where it's like, hey, this is one of the days where it's like slower. Clients aren't really talking to you that much. You're not really getting a lot of consultation calls for that day or for that time of the day. So why don't you just put the family calls here and just tell them every single one of the family. If you can't, if they call early, say, hey, I can't speak until this time, or let them know ahead of time, like, hey, I can only speak during this time because I've designated for, talking, right? That works extremely, extremely well. And by anticipating regular calls from family, you can actually plan your client interactions and critical tasks around those interruptions, thus maintaining a balance between personal obligations and professional productivity. So rather than having to cut everybody off, and rather than having to have them be distracted and random, you are structuring it so it allows you to be able to use it for your benefit and even give yourself like a break. So, in conclusion, for section one, while a home-based business offers flexibility and the comfort of working from your own space, it also demands a high level of self-discipline and strategic time management to overcome this too much green syndrome and family-related interruptions. Now, by understanding and addressing these challenges, you can set the foundation for successful and efficient home businesses. Cool. Next, effective time management. Now, as we continue to explore the challenges for managing this business, let's dive into the importance of setting boundaries and maintaining a structured schedule. Now, by taking this time, like taking an example of my tape, by redirecting this stuff, it's really helping you be able to get more, it's called throughput out of your day. Because again, it's so easy, especially if you work out during the morning. What I've kind of found is like when I wake up, the time before I go to the gym is super productive. And I just get so much stuff done. But as soon as I get back home from the gym, everything just boom flies off the rails. And like the next thing you know, it's like 7 p.m. at night, and you have to go do something else, right? Because I like to do salsa dancing right around like 6:30 every single night to like 9 or so, right? Because I'm trying to get a lot of exercise, and I've actually lost 13 pounds in the past, I'd like to say 2 months, probably a month and a half. But yeah, I'm trying to get as much exercise as possible. Plus, in the summertime, so I can go outside and do a lot more like walks and stuff. But yeah, next, a systematic approach to operations. So, operating a business from home requires a systematic approach to daily activities. It's not just about working hard. That's one thing that I've been trying to like really talk to our mentorship students about. It's like it's not just about working hard. Like some of our students, for example, like Julia, like she just got a new client. Basically, it's a $24,000 cleanup, and it's like I think it's $3,500 a month thereafter. Now the reason why that's really cool is because she didn't really have to do that much hard work. It's not like you're doing a million cold calls. It's not like you're driving networking events. Our structure is based on like referral partnerships. So when you have the right set of referrals, it just keeps sending more and more and more leads to you without you necessarily having to actively go and do a good amount of work. So it's just way more effective. So strategic scheduling allows you both to do personal and professional commitments. Now, the idea here is not to really eliminate a lot of this stuff. The idea is just it's really to take control and integrate, right? Because like maybe you have to go pick up your children from school, right? So maybe to drop them off at school. Maybe you're taking your kids to daycare. I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe you're working your job. You have to be able to build your schedule around your existing life circumstances in order to make sure you can be as successful as possible. Because everyone's going to have distractions and really challenges. It's how we deal with those challenges and those setbacks that allow us to be able to either like, succeed and be at the place we want, or take a lot longer to kind of get to where we want to go. So for example, like handling distractions. So another common yet unaddressed issue is a tendency to engage in OCD cleaning sprees. Okay. This is the case with Sharon C. So she was another student of mine who found herself constantly distracted by chores to the extent of neglecting her business tasks. It was like the home environment with its inherent familiarity and ongoing maintenance needs, can lead to significant productivity losses, especially if not managed properly. Because like sometimes, like I know sometimes, like maybe if you're new, like you might be feeling nervous or just overwhelmed, and it's very comfortable to clean, right? Because like I know there's a lot of people where it's like they cannot actually like do stuff until their entire space is clean. Personally, for me, I think that's kind of a weakness, right? Because it's like, okay, so if it's not clean, you can't get started. What if you have a consultation call and the room is messy, right? So you just not be able to do that. You have to clean. It's like I don't know, teach their own, but that just in my opinion, that's really hard to kind of do it because a business like it's very spontaneous. So if you have to have everything structured and set before you can move forward, you're not going to really be a good number one in your company. Okay. It's not to say that you can't ever start a company. It's just you might need to start learning how to, just like we talked about earlier with the time, learn how to craft out a space that is already clean in your environments, whether your apartment, your house, whatever. So for example, in this office, there is no mess whatsoever, right? Because well, there might be a mess now that I'm doing some of these videos like these PowerPoints. I have like a bunch of sheets of these like documents and stuff. So there might start being more of like a mess of just like paper and stuff, which I usually didn't used to have a lot. Now that I like this writing pad, but all that to say, it allows if you're a person where you need everything to be organized, it allows you to be able to come and do something on the fly without having to take that time to organize. Once you're out of your office and maybe you have to go to your house, maybe your house is messy because you have like kids and whatever, I don't know, right? Inside your office is clean. It's a very structured and stable space, so you can have that stable platform to go and reach your goals. And once you go out, you can start cleaning. But make sure, just like everything else, right? You can't just have OCD cleaning just because, oh, you want things to be clean, okay? Once you have a certain revenue level, you can do that. Like this week, I like went for like I think I went for like 3 hours worth of walks a day. I went to the grocery store during the middle of the day, like 2 days in a row, just because I want to go just randomly get something. But I can do that because I have systems, process, procedures. I have a pipeline of clients. People come to me. I have referral partners. I have team members. I have a controller who like manages a lot of my accounting team. So it's like I built it to a place, but that took like, a lot of time to where like I was telling someone the other day, it's like, man, this is one of the most perfect business models I can totally have, right? Because you have the recurring revenue from the bookkeeping business, and you also have like the influxes of like the coaching clients. So it's just like I have really, really, really good time balance. And it's just like, wow, I would never have thought when I like started my business that life could kind of be like this, right? When we doing a little bit more traveling this year. Not necessarily because like I couldn't travel before, but it's just been different the last couple of years. Just like being able to kind of travel and see different places and stuff like that. And like I found I don't like vacations. Like I don't like sightseeing. That's the one thing I don't like. I don't I we went to Mexico. I don't like seeing Tulum. Like we were on those like pyramids. Like okay, cool. I like sitting in the ocean, sitting on the beach. I like being able to have like the hotel that overlooks the water. I like being able to like, have the nighttime events where you're doing salsa stuff. Like that's fun to me, right? But yeah, so I just found that out a couple of years ago. Cool. So support system. So lastly, the value of a strong support system and professional guidance cannot be overstated. Okay, so working alone, especially from home, can be a little bit tough to really kind of make it work, right? So I always really recommend that you work with some sort of like mentor or some at the very least some sort of like mini course you can do, right? I'm not necessarily saying you have to go and spend like, on the mentorship program. I would probably advise it if you're trying to move very quickly. Okay, cool. You probably want to do something like that because that's where you get those quantum leaps. You're cutting down time, right? You're trading your time for essentially for your money for your money, right? What most people who are unsuccessful do is they trade time for money, right? There comes a point to where you're gonna have to make that switch and start investing money for money, right? Because if you put money, you're generally gonna get a return. I'm always looking for like at least every dollar I put in, I'm either looking for a minimum $3 out. When I go into like a course, I'm trying to put $1 in and can I get at least $5 back out, right? Because with a course, it's a little bit different because it's intrinsic knowledge. When I'm talking about an advertising campaign, the barometer for like for return is a little bit lower because I'm comparing it to other investments. And by far the best investment is always investing in yourself, right? Because that's the one thing people can't take away, right? You can't take away your skills. I cannot come to you and take the ability to do accounting and bookkeeping out of someone's mind who understands how to do it, right? But you invest in yourself, and a lot of people invest in college, but once like they're done with college, then they just stop investing in themselves, which never really made sense to me. If you believed it like when you were younger, why do you not believe it now that you're your 30s, your 40s, your 50s? Doesn't make sense to me, but that's probably why my business keeps growing. Um, cool. Next thing is really making sure that as we kind of like go and like you're managing your early business success, a critical aspect to address the initial confusion and discouragement that most new entrepreneurs are actually going to be facing. So this phase is characterized by efforts to establish a strong online presence that attracts clients through platforms like Upwork and set up like consultations that unfortunately may not always result in secured contracts. Now, this process can extend over months or even years, as illustrated by the experience of like different people. Like I was speaking to this one businesswoman, and she was talking about like after 5 years of business, she was still not even like getting like her first like. I don't think she ever made like $1,000 a month in 5 years in business. It's just like that's all the reason why I say like invest in mentorship program. Like, if I had waited 5 years to get to 1,000 a month, I probably would not be in the game if I was honest. She's much more persistent than I am because it's like I'm only doing stuff where I know I'm going to get a solid return, so I can go spend the rest of my life do whatever I want. That's literally it, right? That's literally the only reason why I do business, right? Is because it's a better alternative than a job, gives me more flexibility, more life, and I can just like do whatever I want. Just how it is sometimes. Um, now coping with initial setbacks. So the initial phase of starting a business can become particularly daunting. Now, entrepreneurs might face like a cycle of enthusiasm followed by disappointment, which can then lead to intermittent breaks and or loss of momentum. Now, it's essential to recognize these feelings are common and part of the entrepreneurial journey, okay? Because remember, I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're not working with a coach, or maybe you're working with a coach, but just, I don't know, maybe it's not working out, right? But it's normal to feel disappointed and discouraged when you're trying this stuff on your own because you just don't know what you're doing. It'll be unreasonable for you to be able to go and get to $100,000 per year in your first like year in business if you have no business skills. Now, when I say business skills, okay, accounting and bookkeeping is a business skill, but it's not a business startup skill set. Okay. That so if you think about it, most businesses who can actually afford to do bookkeeping and accounting, they're already doing, well, not taxes, but to get bookkeeping services, they're doing $500,000 a year. What that shows is that in order for them to get to that point, a lot of times like the bookkeeping is not necessarily something that is make or break for the business to go. It'll keep them profitable, it'll keep them in business long, and it'll improve the um the experience in business, right? I mean, you probably want to have more money after all those sales than less money, right? And you want to save on taxes, but it's not necessarily the thing that the business owner needed to start the business, right? The skill sets that are needed to start the business are pricing, marketing, and sales, right? Because if you don't get good at sales, no one's going to pay you money. And if you don't know how to do marketing, you're not going to have any consultation calls. And if you don't have those two things, it's like, well, what good is having accounting skill set if you have no clients to do accounting for, right? So whenever I hear people say like, I have business experience, like, kind of, you've worked in a business, you have corporate business experience, right? But you don't really have startup small business experience, and you don't really have not developed the skill sets needed to get a business off the ground yet. But that's okay. No one starts out with that skill set. That's literally the point of why you have to start small, right? Because you have to like learn that stuff. Now, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, also, some people are like, well, I have a business degree, so I should be able to start a business. Like, I mean, kind of. I mean, do you have an entrepreneurship degree? And even then, what kind of entrepreneurship degree do you have? Is it a startup, like a professional services startup business, or is it more of like a tech startup, right? Because every type of business model has a slightly different set of required skill sets. So, for example, let's say you're going to do a tech startup, right? If you're going to like launch some kind of technical app or something, okay, you have to learn how to code. That's the baseline skill set for that. But then you also have to learn how to do web design, you have to learn how to do SEO, you have to learn how to promote the app, you have to learn how to get affiliates, right? That's a different business model than like ours. Ours is a lot simpler because all you need to do is understand bookkeeping, understand how to build relationships with people, understand how to price your services, and then you can keep going and get off to the races, right? So it is a little bit of an easier business model to start. But if you have a business degree, but it's not in specific aspect of this business, a lot of the time what's going to happen is you're going to get in there and it's just not going to work out the way you think. And it causes people to get very, very discouraged. Okay. So I'm just saying, like, when you start your business, when you're in it, like, do not be surprised that just because you have a business degree, you don't really know. You might be like, well, why did I pay for that business degree? Okay, I don't know why you paid for the business degree, right? Maybe you get a job, but it's different. It's different in the business world. Now, implementing effective de-stressing strategies. Okay. To navigate these challenges, incorporating de-stressing strategies into your daily routine is vital. For instance, like we talked about earlier, maybe you have to go pick up your kids. Use that as a stress release activity to kind of break up different negative feelings. Same thing with like physical activities, right? Maybe you can go work out to alleviate some stress. Now, personally, I found it beneficial to work out right around 10 to 11 a.m. every single day. I've done it where I've like worked at different times throughout the workday, and I just really like having that like 10 to 11 a.m. So you just kind of like 11:30. I get back to work probably like 11:45, but it's just so relaxing. So I can split my day into 2/3 days. So first day is like for creative stuff like this is my morning when I'm filming this video, right? And it's just like I like being able to have that time that I can really set aside for this stuff. And it just makes it easier. Then like the middle of my day is generally for more of like sales related activities. So any consultation calls with either bookkeeping clients or with mentorship students are generally gonna be during like the middle of my day. And the evening is when I either have like my team generally is going to be doing some of the accounting work and slash or I am kind of looking into some other things, right? So, but I do have to kind of finish my day before a certain time. That's why I'm so grateful that I built a team who can do the work when I am not working, right? Because if I didn't have that, I would be working a lot more. But it's okay. Next thing, you segment your day based on maximum productivity. So by segmenting my workday, I actually can dedicate the first part of the day to prospecting and business growth activities. The second aspect of my day to consultations or follow-up, just like I kind of said, marketing, sales, and then client work. Okay. And this allows people to structure each activity in each segment for optimized productivity and reducing a sense of being overwhelmed by a continuous stream of tasks. Okay. By having things organized, I know exactly what I'm doing. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. It gives me really a sense of it gives me a sense of consistency in a thing that would otherwise maybe be inconsistent. That's the biggest thing when it comes to the business, right? You need to have as much consistency built into your life as possible. That's a key thing when you're trying to do a lot of this stuff. Give me 1 second. Awesome. Okay, addressing organizational stress. Okay. So as the business matures, the nature of stress evolves from confusion and discouragement to managing the complexities of a successful operation. So this includes task management, contractor coordination, and maintaining a healthy work-life balance. So organizational stress, although different, does require a structured approach to ensure everything from client relationships to personal health is actively managed. Okay. So just kind of, I know some of you watch this video might not be at that level, but just understand like there's always gonna be like a different kind of stress. It's just gonna be like a little different. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not gonna be as hard, so it's all good. Yeah. So next is going to, was it? Cool. Sorry, I had a thing going. Next thing. So in conclusion, okay, The journey of a home-based bookkeeper is fraught with challenges that can be mitigated through structured planning and strategic breaks. Now, recognizing the different types of stress and implementing tailored strategies to address them not only aids in personal well-being, but also enhances the business productivity and growth. So I really appreciate you for your time and for watching this video. Now, as we progress further inside of the entrepreneurial journey, the nature of everything is going to be moving. So, maybe one second, I think I might have a type on my notes. And eventually what's going to happen is you're going to go from like, basically surviving issues to complex management strategic problems as the business kind of matures. And that's okay. It goes from like, how do I make enough money to survive to how can I best utilize this money to grow and expand? There are different kinds of problems that, while challenging, signifies your business is moving in the right direction and moving forward. Okay. So that's all good. So mentorship program. So in our mentorship program, six-figure firms, we provide guidance on precisely these issues. Okay, so pricing, marketing, sales, and then the higher level time/team management. Now, whether you're just starting out or have a few clients, or you're looking to scale your business significantly, the program is designed to help you meet your financial goals and manage the complexity of growing a business. Now, for those interested in taking the business to the next level so you can get more of those personal benefits of like time freedom, time with your family, location freedom, etc., I encourage you to go and check out the link inside the description or above below the video. Now, on the call, there's three main things we're going to do. First, we're going to see exactly like, where are you right now in your business journey. Then we're going to discuss where do you want to go and like what is your vision and your goals. Because I need to see if there's like an alignment, right? Because if there's a good fit, I outline a tailored action plan to help you achieve these goals. Now, this process ensures alignment and sets the stage for an effective collaboration together. Okay, so if you want to learn if we can help you out, go ahead and click the link inside the description above below the video. Book the call. Let's see if we can help you out inside of our program. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day. Take it easy.